Well, welcome to a new edition of DTV. We're here today with Jonathan Williams, who's the Vice President of Operations at LSC Communications, a major US-based distribution and digital media company. In his career, he's been responsible for delivering some impressive results for a diverse set of businesses, ranging from technical services to manufacturing. His expertise covers operations, large-scale project management, and implementing new services. So, Jonathan, welcome to DTV.
Thank you.
Could you tell us a little bit about your background and what brought you into this sector?
Yeah, I think for a number of people, they kind of fall into a career in the printing industry. So I worked as a press operator in high school when a lot of my friends were, flipping burgers at fast food joints, and decided that I wanted to learn more about this, and after I graduated from college, I joined a printing company. And while I was in this printing company, decided I wanted to move into management. And when I was getting my MBA in the early 2000s, decided to do kind of one of those obligatory type of assignments where you talk about the industry you work in, and did a paper on cooperative mailing and how manufacturing companies, primarily printing companies, could offer a service where we aggregate multiple customers' mail together to help reduce their distribution costs. Submitted that paper to the executive team. Didn't think much about it for about a year and a half until a number of our customers announced that they were going to offer a co-mail service, and was basically thrust into the role of launching that service for the company that I worked for at the time.
I think it's interesting that a lot of people don't realize how significant the shipping costs are for the actual cost of delivering a physical object. And much as we talk about the world becoming digital, there's a lot of stuff that still needs to go physically. How do you approach that problem? Because it's a tricky one. The image that keeps coming in my mind is trying to organize kids coming, trying to organize carpooling. It's easier to drive all 6 kids, but you got to get everybody lined up to get everything delivered in the right way.
Yeah, it's certainly true. I mean, for a lot of our publishers and catalogers that we service, the distribution costs can be, just the postage alone can be 60% of their total cost. And even though these customers are using many channels to reach out to their customers, they're still seeing some fairly amazing response rates using these traditional means to reach out to their customers. And certainly, the co and co-mail or cooperative mailing, there's compromises that customers have to make as far as their schedules, because when you're taking everyone's mail and putting it together, one customer can't dictate a requirement over another customer. So that's the big thing that we try to relate to customers, is them understanding, kind of what they're signing up for. Yeah, there's this great potential savings, but there's some rules of the game that need to be followed for them to achieve these pretty fantastical results.
What's interesting to me is that you took one business, which was just the printing, and really went back to solve the root problem for the customer, which is not printing. The root problem is, how do I get information efficiently in the hands of a lot of people? And you took on that bigger problem for people and solved it in a way that they would not be able to on their own, which is, I think, very interesting. Is that a good understanding of what you did?
Yeah, in 2016, we developed a new distribution model that, instead of just organizing the mail down to the route that a carrier is walking when they're delivering the mail, there's close to 540,000 active routes that every day carriers are walking to deliver that mail, if you exclude PO boxes. There's about 540,000 of these. And we developed a new program where we're literally going to nearly every household that carrier is walking to. We call it our high density program. And so we had to think differently on when we receive data from customers, how we look at that data, how do we manage that data. And the program has grown, and it's close to 60% of all the volume that participates in our cooperative mailing program is taking advantage of this high density program.
Wow, to put this in perspective, I mean, how many different sources of data are coming into you in terms of different, not just customers, but also different data feeds from those customers for printing? Because I'm just sitting there thinking there's that combined with 540,000. The combinatorial gets really huge really fast. So how many is it roughly?
Well, we have hundreds of customers that participate in our program each week. So each of those customers are trying to get their products to the final end user. And the combinatorial aspect of it is actually more around how do I group those customers in the most effective way in order to create that density that I referenced earlier. Whether it's just trying to organize the mail just purely to the carrier route, but more importantly, organizing so that you're getting to nearly every household. There's some serious operational constraints. And so what we have to do is figure out, okay, we have 25 pieces of equipment that produces this product, and we have only so many physical pockets that the product can go into on each of these pieces of equipment. The permutations, when you're considering hundreds of customers and how you can combine all those different customers to maximize the postage savings for everyone participating, it is complicated.
It is an area that, I think really is interesting work in terms of kind of applying artificial intelligence and machine learning to that problem. Can you describe a little bit about, what got done there and the sort of impact that it's had?
Yeah, so we've had, with our normal processes, we're running algorithms to try to figure out how to combine these titles to reach the type of postage savings that we'd like to achieve. It is what's referred to as an NP complete problem. I mean, it's like the traveling salesman problem. So for you to exhaust and find that perfect answer, it would just take far too long to complete. So we use machine learning, for instance, to do hyperparameterization, to look at how we're setting up these algorithms in order to efficiently configure things up front, so that we can maximize our savings. And we have situations now where we have customers coming to us saying, hey, I can't get the data to you at the same time that you're processing everyone else's data. What can you do to help me still continue to save money? So what we have to do there is predict which rows of data would actually benefit from the service and give them kind of a seat on that machine with the other customers to drive that savings. So we do use machine learning also to help identify specific segments of customers' mailings that would also benefit from the service if they can't meet our data requirements.
It is the area where you've been working with CIGaza to help, optimize that whole process, correct?
Yeah, I mean, CIGaza has been with us since the beginning. So they've been with us since we launched the service. They're, now helping us with ML ops, moving away from DevOps to ML ops, because there's a huge need there. Continuous integration, deployment, they're helping us there. So they've been with us from the start, and they've been a great partner helping us figure these problems out.
So it's been really interesting. What I'm taking away is that you came at this, what started as the customer conceived it as a narrow problem about how to reduce their cost of delivering products to their targets. And you, by taking on the whole problem and kind of recasting it, you've completely changed the nature of the game for all of these publishers. You did it by taking ownership of the whole process end to end in a very different way.
Yeah, I mean, we had to rethink it and rethink the problem, talk to our customers, get their feedback on how they could help us solve the problem too, right? Our external customers and our internal customers, right? CIGaza had to work with us on how we can change, the way that we're doing things. What do we need in our technology stack to help accomplish our final goal? And just kind of rethinking how you get product organized down to a carrier level to help customers maximize their savings. And by the way, the USPS likes this service as well, right? Because we're creating pallets of mail that essentially just get cross-docked at the postal facilities and delivered straight to the tens of thousands of post offices in the United States. So it's truly a win for everyone.
Well, thank you very much. This has been a great example of applying AI and ML to deeply understanding and solving a fundamental problem for a large set of companies. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you for the opportunity to talk.
Well, thank you all as the viewers out there for joining us for another episode of DTV. As always, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel, and if you've got proposals for interesting new speakers, love to get your proposals. Thank you very much, and look forward to you in the next broadcast.